Hello folks, it is I Have Fun 0235, creator of the General Review, and today we will be reviewing more orange generals. This is a continuation of the first video featuring Bok and de Gaulle. Thirdly, we have Halsey, who when maxed out has 6 air stars and 5 mobility stars, and also has 5 naval stars from before the update. He has replaced his sailor skill for the new naval overlord skill, while keeping the skills fleet leader and carpet bombing. Of the current 8 orange generals, Halsey is the only hybrid general, being a naval-air hybrid. His new skill Naval Overlord has 2 parts to it, firstly being that when Halsey is on a ship, there is a 1 in 2 chance to jolt the enemy, reducing the enemy's mobility by 70% for 2 turns. The second part is that when Halsey is on the Enterprise Elite Force, all Air Force costs except fighters are reduced by 1. Truth be told, the first part of this skill is terrible, as a reduction in enemy mobility does not help you in any way while you are on the offensive and the enemy does not run. The second part is seemingly decent, but the Enterprise Elite Force is not competitive until it reaches level 5. However, not many people have a level 5 Enterprise lying around, as it is an IAP Elite Force, meaning you are unable to purchase NT fragments using metals. And it is not exactly one of the more useful EFs to buy using real money anyway. This makes Orange Halsey not worth getting for what he is worth, as his perk is essentially useless. In my opinion, this makes Halsey an F tier naval air hybrid general, considering how difficult it is to get scepters of dominance. However, it is important to note that while Orange Halsey is not worth getting, Gold tier Halsey is not a horrible general. Halsey's base skills of sailor, fleet leader and carpet bombing are good for a naval air hybrid general, and 2 extra skill slots gives him much room for a good build as an aircraft carrier or an Ole Burke Elite Force general. Gold tier Halsey is also much cheaper than Orange Halsey, even if it is not a priority to get him. I would put Gold tier Halsey in A tier just for that. They really did Orange Halsey dirty. I mean, where did his cap even go? Fourthly, we have Rundstedt, who when maxed out has 6 infantry stars and 5 mobility stars. He has replaced all his skills with 2 new ones, Iron Will and Provocation, and 1 regular skill infantry leader. The first new skill Iron Will gives Rundstedt the ability to reduce damage taken by 20%. This increases to 30% when Rundstedt gets hit once, then to 40 when hit twice, then to 50 when hit thrice. After the 3rd hit there will be no more increase in damage reduction. This increased damage reduction will remain for 1 turn before disappearing, unless Rundstedt is hit again. The second new skill Provocation gives Rundstedt a chance to obtain the Provocation effect. The Provocation effect was added as a perk for events with a hard mode, but Rundstedt is now able to use it. What it basically does is it prevents friendly troops within 1 bead of Rundstedt from being targeted by enemy forces for 1 turn. This means that Rundstedt is now bait for the enemy, as the enemy is unable to attack the friendly troops around him. This complements his first skill, as Rundstedt will be able to farm the Iron skill ability to increase its effectiveness in reducing damage taken. This therefore turns Rundstedt into a sponge, who is able to soak up a lot of damage. However, this also essentially paints Rundstedt as a target. Considering Rundstedt is an infantry general and infantry units do not have much health, Rundstedt will not be able to soak too much damage without dying, even with the first skill. This means that Rundstedt's effectiveness is severely dampened. There are 2 ways to mitigate this. The first way is to put Rundstedt on a Phantom Force. As the Phantom Force, it will be able to turn invisible every other turn. If Provocation activates while Rundstedt is invisible, an entire patch of your troops will become untouchable, allowing an invincible squad to defend your territory. However, this also means that Rundstedt's Iron Will cannot be used to its maximum effectiveness, since he cannot be hit every other round. The second way is to put Rundstedt on a high defense infantry elite force unit like the RPG Rocketeers to offset the enemy attacks directed at him. This way, Rundstedt will take less damage even without his Iron Will active, and will take even less when it is. Overall, I would put Orange Rundstedt in A tier because while his skill set is excellent for baiting enemy fire away from your other troops, he needs a decent infantry elite force to actually survive. As such, I would suggest not getting him until you have at least 1 decently upgraded infantry elite force. That is it for part 2 of the Orange General reviews. Click the subscribe button and tune in next time for the other orange generals.